And we'll also take you to Toronto for a preview of tonight's World Series. It is Game 6 for the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. It's a big one tonight.
It is a big one. But let's start, though, with meteorologist Sean McInday. With your weather on the nines, it is dreary out there.
Yeah, it's just rain right now. Past couple of hours in the metro, it's been raining steadily. Good news, though, for the trick-or-treaters. This is starting to move out of the area, and over the next hour and a half, most of the metro should clear away with those raindrops. It's going to take some time. I'll show you it on the radar in a second. Right now, though, yeah, dreary, 40 degrees, gloomy, spooky outside, especially as the sun is set to set in about an hour. Let's set the stage. We have this area of broad low pressure, and as it moves to the south, it's dragging with it all this cooler air from the north and Canada. It's squeezing out all of this more autumnal moisture, just in the form of some sprinkled showers, especially in the southwestern part of the state right here, closer to Mankato, Marshall. It's just on and off raindrops. But notice this blob of steady stratiform rain right there that's right over the metro. It's really rolling over the past couple of hours. Let's zoom in on that, because this is interesting. As these winds out of the south are bringing moisture and they collide with the incoming winds out of the north, this is the focus for this steady rain. It really is just a blob, but notice how as it rolls over a couple hours ago, it was reaching north, and then the past hour it started to sag south. That's the line right there. We're not going to see any more steady rain anywhere north of this line. So that's really just about now moving into downtown Minneapolis. Anywhere really north of 694. You're good for the trick-or-treating right now. Anywhere south of this yellow line, it's going to take maybe about an hour or so for that to clear through the rest of the metro all the way to 494, and then maybe 630, latest 7 for our far southern metro areas. Now stay tuned, because we are going to be talking about a smaller chance for rain tomorrow morning, and then some great weather on the way to kick off November. Guys,
just have to time out the trick-or-treating.
Yeah, right.
Tonight.
Yeah, we'll be doing that here.
All right, thanks, Sean.
Make no mistake, this is going to hurt Minnesotans. Everything is more expensive these days, especially food.
In less than 12 hours, food benefits for more than 400,000 Minnesotans will stop. That's unless the government shutdown ends by then, but that isn't likely.
Both parties continue to play politics, with each side blaming the other for what's happening. Fox 9's Mike Manzoni is following the latest developments tonight from the newsroom. So, Mike, 2 federal judges issued major rulings on SNAP benefits this afternoon.
Yes, Simone and Karen, this is a loss for the Trump administration and a big win for Minnesota, one of the states that sued over this. The judges ordered the administration to use billions of dollars in reserve funds to keep the SNAP program running. But these these rulings, I should say, don't fix everything. And there are still all kinds of questions. One judge acknowledged that some people might end up getting less money and pointed out that benefits could be delayed. The food group in New Hope says it's racing to get food to everyone who needs it, but it fears it may eventually run out, especially if the shutdown drags on. And Catholic Charities Twin Cities in St. Paul says it's seen an uptick in demand in recent days at its kitchen. It says if something doesn't change soon, it may have to start turning people away. St. Paul educators spoke this morning about the impact a lapse in food benefits will have on children.
Hunger affects more than the body. It affects focus, attendance, behavior, and emotional well-being in the classroom.
Just like kids can't do homework without a home, they can't be expected to show up to learn without food to eat on nights and weekends.
And again, 2 federal judges say the Trump administration must use emergency funds to pay for SNAP benefits. It's unclear whether the administration will appeal those rulings. In the newsroom, Mike Manzoni, Fox 9.
Well, Mike, let's talk about WIC benefits for a moment here, often used for necessities just like baby formula, for example. Some people have asked if this shutdown will impact that program. So what's the answer to that question?
Well, WIC is not impacted, at least for now. The state says it does have enough money to keep that program running through the end of next month if the shutdown continues through November. Simone, Karen?
All right, good information there. Thank you, Mike.
St. Paul police say 2 men are dead after an early morning argument led to gunfire. This happened just before 4:30 this morning, about 6 minutes southeast of Como Park. While responding to reports of gunfire, police found a man lying in the street with multiple gunshot wounds. He died at the scene there. Shortly after, another man showed up at a fire station with gunshot injuries. He died at a nearby hospital. Investigators say the 2 men are connected.
These 2 individuals knew of each other, and that these 2 individuals were also the 2 that fired shots at each other.
Police are still working to find out the exact relationship between the victims and a motive. These are St. Paul's 10th and 11th homicides of the year.
66-year-old Carl Holmberg of Benton County is sentenced to 76 years in prison for shooting 5 officers in October of 2023. Holmberg opened fire as task force officers were attempting to search his home for drugs. Holmberg fired nearly 30 rounds using a high-powered assault rifle. All 5 officers survived. However, 3 officers suffered substantial injuries.
Breaking within the last hour, Minneapolis teachers say they plan to go on strike. That means they could walk off the job in as little as 10 days. The union filed its intent to strike after another round of negotiations that started yesterday, stretched into today without a deal. Both sides are still trying to reach an agreement to avoid a strike. Teachers are fighting for better pay and smaller class sizes, among other things. The district says it cannot afford to pay for the union's latest proposal. The union authorized a strike earlier this week. Well, it is that time. Halloween trick-or-treaters are out collecting candy that will hopefully last them weeks or months and not just one night.
I can only hope. I hope so too, though. But some late afternoon rain may keep people home instead of walking around their neighborhoods. Rob Olson is live in Richfield tonight. Rob, we just heard from meteorologist Sean McAday. He talked about how we kind of need to strategically plan our night. What is foot traffic looking like where you are?
Well, it's slow, you know, it's just starting to kind of get going here as we haven't even got to sunset yet. But there's a few out braving the light rain that's happening right now. It's not cold. It's chilly in a chilly, wet way, but not cold. This is Peterson's Purgatory, and you know, Shane Wells was here for the Fox 9 Morning News earlier this week, and we thought it deserved another look, actually, you know, on game night, as it were. This is a really impressive setup, and every time I go through here, I keep seeing new things, like well, here, yeah, look at that. That's great. I mean, can you imagine this? I asked them, do you decorate for Christmas? And they said, no, we don't have any more storage room left. But yeah, I like the ghost coming through here. And as we come up, yeah, this is another, not for the squeamish at all, but you've got a vomiting skeleton into the radioactive barrel of waste. The owner here, hey, Liz, come on over here. Oh, there's some trick-or-treaters. Oh, hi, guys. Can we talk to you quick?
Yeah.
What do you, you know, it's not the nicest night to be out, but do you care?
No.
No?
No, I don't care.
Why not?
I love trick-or-treating. Yeah, we love trick-or-treating.
Yeah? So, I mean, if it even starts raining harder, are you going to stay out?
Yeah.
Of course you will. Liz, your purgatory here is impressive. You've been doing this about 15 years?
15 years. It started with our 4 headstones right over here, and every year we add a little more. This year we added a pirate ship in the front, with, complete with Kraken.
We can't see that from here, but I saw that earlier. Pretty impressive.
Yes.
And you said this takes a shed and a lot
shed and a car, a garage that has no car.
Yeah.
So it is a labor of love for sure with us and our friends.
And on a drizzly night like this, maybe it's sort of fitting for the holiday, but you know, hopefully you'll get people out here.
Absolutely, I know that we will. We do get a full-size candy bar out if they make it to the front door. Not everyone does.
No, yeah. Well, we got to talk about some of the history here of Halloween because, you know, you never know what you're going to get because it's that time of year.
Yep.
Last year, if you recall, was wet and gross and snowy as well. Last year, it was actually considered the wettest Halloween on record with about 1.25 inches of precipitation between rain and snow and a high of 47 degrees. So last year, we went through kind of a gross night as well. But let's take you back, I believe, 3 years. back to 2022. Do you remember this? High of 65 degrees that day. That's the day when everyone was out just enjoying everything in addition to trick-or-treating. Pickleball, frisbee, golf, you name it. It was beautiful. It was one of only 4 times in 25 years when we were in the 60s on Halloween. The warmest in the last quarter century was in the year 2000, I believe. It was 71 degrees. So you take a little bit of everything when you get these Halloweens, but you don't expect it's going to slow down tonight.
No, absolutely not. With the advent of cars, lots of kids are hopping in and out.
And I think you've become a destination.
We have, and our neighbors have started to increase their candy counts as well, because if they're going to hit us, they're going to hit the neighborhood. So, and we have great neighbors. We like them a lot.
Well, yeah, I'm sure they love this too.
Yes,
yeah.
they do.
All right, there you go. A damp night for trick-or-treating, but again, kind of fits the gloomy spirit of the holiday, I think. And when you got stuff like this, a little wet weather is not going to keep you from enjoying it, if you call that enjoyable.
Okay, Rob.
I think that's awesome.
Rob, we got a question here. Where on earth do you get a vomiting skeleton?
And how does that work? Like, where is it coming from and coming out? We're just trying to understand it.
Well, it's just recycling the water, and it's got food coloring in it and a light. And that's it. It's just going in the barrel and pumping back out again. So it's very ecologically efficient.
Haven't seen that one on Amazon. All right, thanks, Rob.
Yeah.
Have a happy Halloween.
What a cool house.
Very cool.
And they have the full-size candies.
I know.
They're a good house.
That's always the big thing. Do they have full-size candy bars?
And what kind of candy you have. That matters.
Yeah, it does. It absolutely does. Because I remember as a kid, you're talking with your friends after, like, I got this one, I got this one. You know, you're trying to win the candy game.
Yeah, remember when sometimes people give out raisins, those little bitty
Please don't do that.
I do remember that.
If you're watching, if you're the Raisin House.
Don't do that.
We don't want that.
No, it's not great.
Or pencils.
Pretzels.
Yeah. No, don't be that person. You know, it's not the spirit of Halloween. Rob was saying that the weather's kind of in the spirit of Halloween, and I agree with him. It's just kind of gloomy, gray. You know, it's just Halloween. It's supposed to be a little eerie, right? This light rain is adding an eeriness to it. As we heard from the kids, it's not going to stop them, and I don't think it's going to stop you. But if you're just waiting to make sure it's going to be a dry trick-or-treating experience, you don't have to wait too much longer. Like I was saying, all of this rain, stratiform light rain, it's really rolling off the low pressure, so it reached its peak at around 4 o'clock, and now it's starting to move back south. Let's freeze the radar. Here's the line from where, didn't draw a nice line right there. I'll fix that. Here's the line from generally where we're seeing rain and where we're not seeing rain, and this line is moving southward at a decent clip. I think by around 6 o'clock, anywhere north of 494 is clear. Not going to be seeing rain at that time. Richfield, we were talking about, that light rain is probably only having another 20-30 minutes on it before it really starts to slide away. Elsewhere, all of this stratiform rain, if you are in places like Owatonna or Faribault, yeah, that rain is actually going to move in for your trick-or-treating experience. Sorry to rain on your parade or your trick-or-treating. You get what I'm saying. A couple of spotty showers in the southwestern part of the state closer to Mankato and Marshall, and also some briefly heavier showers moving off Lake Superior here closer to Duluth. We'll be keeping an eye on the radar and talk more about November coming up.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Sean. Well, coming up, from candy to candles, the things you need to know to make sure Halloween is not only fun, but safe.
And after the break, we'll take you live to Rogers Center. Game 6 of the World Series is less than 2 hours away.